Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
My question is, where would a vasectomy reversal fit in on the baby steps? I've looked into my insurance and my fiance's, and neither one covers it. It's going to be about $10,000, and we do have consumer debt, obviously not working that together at the moment, waiting until we get married, but just kind of wanting to plan, do we pause that and stock up the money because we want to start a family, or
how much debt do you guys have separately?
I have about $15,000 and he has about $50,000.
Oof. And I'm assuming he's in agreement with this reverse vasectomy.
Yes.
Oh boy. I got to tell you, that's a good dude.
How old is he?
How old is this guy?
He's 42 and I'm 33. So I'm a little bit older too. So we're not wanting to wait.
So time is of the essence.
That was my next question. So now I see why you're trying to do this quickly.
Yes.
Well, not the procedure. We want this doctor to be steady and slow on that one.
Take your time.
Whew. On behalf of every dude who's listening and watching this call right now,
the next question is, who's paying for it?
Yeah. Well, they are. They're going to wait until they get married.
Like together?
We're going to wait until we get married.
Okay, when is that?
The end of the summer.
Okay, so we'll call it. And are you wanting to immediately, try to have a family at that point?
That's kind of the plan.
Okay.
I'm a little nervous, just not for the financial aspect, but for the medical risks involved with the procedure. But he's talked to his doctor and is willing and all in. So,
all right. So,
we're going to want to start as soon as possible.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 33.
Okay. So, because this is a financial question, and I know George is more than ready to answer this, but I feel like we've got to have a real conversation for a second. There's no guarantee that it's going to work. And I'm sure you guys know the medical percentages of it happening, but there's no guarantee. There's also no guarantee that even if the procedure goes fantastic, that you guys are going to be able to conceive in the timeline that you would like. You acknowledge this, yes or no?
Yes.
And so I don't wish that on anybody. I mean, I want everything to work in the timeline, but it has to be discussed when we start talking about a $10,000 bill, and we don't want you to go into debt. So George, I bring this up to say, I think I want to make the best financial move, period, for this couple, not the best way to figure out how to pay for this procedure, which may or may not yield what they want it to.
Yeah, I mean, there's risk there for sure.
Does that change? I guess my point is, I'm asking you a question on behalf of Kelly. Does that change your advice? I may have a different take than you.
My take is that if this is, this is a very unique situation, so I'm not going to say this is blanket advice for anyone who called in, but for Kelly, I would say let's pause the baby steps and let's both stack up as much cash as we can, make sacrifices needed, make minimum payments on the debts until we're married, we have the money to do the surgery and the reversal, and then we'll push play on the baby steps.
All right. That's your take, huh?
That's my take. I mean, this is, starting a family that kind of supersedes the baby steps. If this was, let's say, IVF or something like that, Dave would say, hey, let's pause the steps and let's save up to pay for this in cash.
Yeah.
The goal, the A1 is not go into more debt. A2 is pay off existing debt.
George, we do make $165,000 combined, so it shouldn't take more than 3 months.
So what if we aggressively said, we're going to save up the $10K and then pay off all of our debt before we're even married?
Well, but then does that change her timeline? Kelly, we have a two-part question there. What's your answer?
Yeah. We can, our finances obviously aren't combined and we are both working them separately. So he has, a second job as well. I am working towards that as well. So, it's possible that we might be able to knock out a lot of it in the next 6 months.
Well, now there's a total goal of, obviously it's not combined because you're not married, but we're looking at $75,000 paid off in, let's call it 7 or 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
So collectively, can we be throwing $10,000 a month at these debts? That might look, you're throwing 4, he's throwing 6, whatever. But the goal is, can we be debt-free with money in the bank to pay for this?
Yeah.
By the time and you got to pay for a wedding, right? Is this a small courthouse situation, or is this lavish?
Yeah, it's going to be a small.
Yeah, what's the calendar on this? Courthouse, and then he's in the doctor's office the next week?
Like no honeymoon, straight to the emergency.
It feels like what I'm hearing. Am I right, Kelly, or tell me if I'm wrong?
No, so it would be like an elopement situation where it'd be a 5-day wedding / honeymoon and then come back.
And then when is he going under the knife again?
Well, he has to meet with a specialist, a urologist, but he's talked to his general doctor about it, and they see no problems with his age or the reversal, but they want him to go to the urologist to get it scheduled.
Okay. All right, so we're on the same page. No reason for debt.
I'm tweaking my advice, though. I'm going to rescind it and go, let's attack this debt, and then we're going to be able to save up for the surgery within a month at that point, once we're married.
I am in agreement with that, George. I was going to go it's not that I disagree with you and Dave on the family first, but it's like, can we wait a little bit? Can we get married? Can we, you know what I mean, before we start putting this pressure on ourselves to get pregnant?
We're not talking about waiting 2 years. We're talking about waiting a month or two.
Yeah, at max, something like that. It's all cash, Kelly. Of course, you guys don't need to go into debt for this. But to George's point, you could pause the baby steps in his plan, but I don't think we need to do that. I think you guys can knock the debt out and cash flow this
the reason I like putting the debt first is it puts fuel on this debt-free journey, because now you have a much deeper why. And when you have that deeper why, you're willing to take on that second job, you're willing to do the extra shift because you want to get to that surgery and get to having that family. So
and what we want for you, Kelly, is debt-free and baby on the way. That's what we want, and I think that's what you want.
Is he on board for all this?
Yep.
This is a good dude.
Yep, he's great.
Listen,
he's willing to go through that.
All you had to say was he's 42, and he's going to go get a reverse vasectomy, and this is a good man. This is a good man. Might be slightly crazy, but he's a good man.
I need a Tums after that one, Cam.
No, it's the wrong pill.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe some Advil. And an ice pack. This is The Ramsey Show.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.